Welcome to the first live episode of the Bintagers live edition, I guess. I am in my Uber, so there may be times when I go out of range, so if I notice that I need to reconnect, I'll just repeat what I was saying. But yeah, this is my Uber. I'm going live in my Uber. It's in a tunnel here, so I may lose connection here in just a sec. So stand by tunnel here. So the idea in simple is, and I've had this idea for quite some time now, to go live in my Uber while I'm driving and share moments as they're happening. There are so many epic moments in my Uber. But the challenge that I've always been very concerned about the challenge I've always been trying to work out is my Uber, just because I do value people's privacy. And how do I do my job in such a way where I'm still bringing value to those that I'm serving? So, in relation to going live, there's new challenges this way. Here's how I'm thinking of bracing those challenges. I'm thinking of bracing those challenges by way of letting my rider know as soon as they get in that they're not in the frame, but I am on live stream with those of you who are following along. And while I do this, I also will give them the audio, don't want your voice online, let me know, and I'll just turn off the live stream. Hence why I have the 01 at the end of the date there. So I'll just kind of keep track that way. So I'm saying I'm calling it Uber Bintagers Live, and then I put the dates, so 11/18/01, and then that way you'll be able to tell which episode that was, on which day it was, and if I have to turn off the live stream because my rider isn't comfortable having their voice on the internet, then I'll honor their wishes because that's my primary business here so far, and I will turn the live stream off so that they can be in their comfort, and then I'll come back on afterwards, basically. But if they're okay with being on, I also have my GoPros going, so if you want to be featured on the podcast, that's also grand, because there are some areas where the connection is really bad. So today is the first day of snow here in Calgary. For those of you who are coming online, great to see you all. Hey, I wish there was a way that I could maintain track of the comments, because sometimes there will be trolls online. So if you're able to overlook a lot of the inappropriate stuff on the comments, please do so, because I can't quite keep up with it until I get a moderator I trust. In the meantime, I'm just happy to ignore those comments and keep on bringing value the way I want to bring value. I'm really excited about this opportunity, and also it's kind of scary too, because this is live streaming in my Uber. I've never seen an Uber that's live streaming. Uber definitely has some restrictions on the use of social media while we're doing our thing here. I've reached out to them a couple of times to try and share with them my idea, but I'm kind of progressing on the good faith basis that what I'm trying to do is going to honor all parties involved, including my riders, and hence why I am as careful as I can be, especially in making sure that I honor and protect the privacy of my riders. But the big reason why I want to do this is because, listen, I have so many amazing opportunities in the midst of driving in my Uber here to connect with my riders, and to connect with them in a way where the conversations we have are so enriching and so good. And I think there's some wonderful inspiration and encouragements that you might derive from also sitting in and being like a fly on the wall, as it were, to what happens here. So this is why I'm super excited about it. But again, I just also want to make sure I'm honoring my riders' wishes. So to that end, I'm hoping the audio works out well. This is like a first go, so I'm going to kind of fumble my way through this. I appreciate your patience while I work out all the kinks and bugs and try to make this a workable scenario. Like I was saying, it is the first day of snow here in Calgary. It's been a bit of a gong show out on the roads. it's been a gong show whereby yeah, like the first snowfall always is challenging for a lot of motorists trying to get used to the road conditions. It's been a little sketchy at times, icy for sure. It's kind of warming up now. Currently it is let's see, it's about -1 degree out there, so it's just at that range where it can melt and then freeze again and get really icy quick. But no, this is going to be a blast. I think I'm super excited. The simple idea is just to live stream as long as I can through my shift. I drive Uber full time now. This is where I'm committing myself, and I've got some real ambitious goals that I will share with y'all as time goes along here. But in the meantime, this is just the introductory part here, if you will, of me just helping you understand the lay of the land of what I'm hoping to do. Basically, if you're watching the live stream or the recording afterwards, you'll be tuning into real time how the energy, how the environment here in my Uber is just one of the, I don't know, it's just such a happy place. I like doing this because I also want to model maybe for other drivers what could be in making this job an amazing job. The experience is so memorable for the right reasons. I want to share with you the fantastic conversations I have on an ongoing basis with my riders. And yeah, it's so far all I've done is I've just basically shared the recordings of my rides with passengers. I have my GoPros, like I say, where I do the primary recording there. And then with the consent of my riders, I post those and share them with all y'all. And it's just been something really enriching, not only for me, but also for many of you who have followed along in the past with the videos that I posted. But this is just an extension now of taking it to a new level and giving you the opportunity to watch along, spend time with me, and in so doing, eventually get to a point where it's like, I don't know, just something worthwhile in sharing with the world. So, welcome to the first episode on this 18th day of November 2024. I was hoping to do this sooner. I'm in the midst of trying to save up for a really nice camera / laptop that's going to handle a lot more options that I can actually have in here for the in-vehicle recording. But some of my goals aren't happening as quickly as I'd like. You know how life happens sometimes. Things just come along, and thankfully I think one of my skill sets is patience to wait for the right timing and to plan things out so I can do it well. So that will happen in time. I think there's maybe a grant I'm going to try apply for that could help me financially to be able to acquire those tools that will help take this to the next level. But in the meantime, here we are doing it this way, and I'm so thrilled. I'm on my way now to pick up one of my riders. I'm going to be cautious even about saying their names and so on. A lot of this is brand new to me, and I just want to make sure I'm doing this well, where I don't jeopardize someone's privacy, especially if that's something that's important and meaningful to them. So I'm over by the airport at the moment. Today I started at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's been busy all day, but I had just a good maybe half an hour here to sit and get everything lined up, from the music to where my account's going to be recording from here to, yeah, it just took a little bit of prep work here. And so yeah, we're about just a couple of minutes out here from this next ride. Like I say, if this ride says they don't want to be featured, I mean, they're not on camera, they're on my GoPros up here, yes, and I only share those if I have permission. But if they don't want to be, then I'll go offline here and I'll come back on after the ride. I think this is about a 15-20 minute ride. So yeah, that's dynamic. So if you'll indicate that that's not something that they're comfortable with, then I'll turn on later. It's just my way of trying to make sure I do this well. Yeah, I would love any feedback from y'all on how I could make this better. I do use like these wireless mics, but I just need to get a special cable to make that work, so I don't have that ready on hand at the moment. One of the things I like to do is feature conversations on the theme of integrity. That's a huge part of what I want to accomplish in this world, is bringing to the forefront this conversation on the theme of integrity, especially for young men. So I'll look for opportunities to have those conversations if it organically presents itself. I don't want to force that conversation per se, but really, it's just a welcome. And yeah, I'm being asked, which country am I from? I'm originally from Ethiopia. I'm an Ethiopian once upon a time, and now I live in Canada. Thanks for the question. Yeah. All right, let's pull up here. One of the things I will do is I usually jump out of the vehicle and run around to grab the door for my passenger. If I'm able to do that. Sometimes not, because they're already outside, and so it doesn't really make sense for me to do so, but if I can, that's one of the things I enjoy doing for my rider, just as a way of extending, I don't know, really good service. That's important to me. But here I am pulling up to the location. Oh, I think I see my rider over yonder. So give me a quick second here while I grab the door for them. I will be right back. Oh, it's nice color here, like that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Good morning. It's still morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's afternoon now, actually.
How's your day going?
It's going amazing. Thank you for asking. My name is Binyam.
Okay, man.
Is this where you work?
No, we do audit of this company.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. It's rare that I come over here to pick anyone up,
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh, check it out. How surprised were you by this turn of events here, weather-wise?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think
Please use your
it's
seatbelt
Calgary,
for your
so
safety.
I
It
think
is.
unexpected, right?
Are you familiar with the climate here, though?
Yep.
Okay,
very
so you
much.
know how amazing it was this fall,
Exactly.
right? It was pretty awesome.
Yep, I have been here for more than 5 years now. So
5? Okay.
Yeah. So,
Where did you move here from?
sorry.
Where did you
I'm
move?
from India.
India.
I was in Brampton for 2 years, then I moved to Calgary.
Gotcha.
So it's been 7 years now.
I've come to learn that India is a really big continent.
Yep.
Which part of the continent were you from?
I'm from Delhi.
Delhi, okay. Gotcha.
How long do you have been there?
Since I was 8.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's been a while for me, right? I think most would argue that I've basically grown up here.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think we were all sort of like just waiting for this here and not holding our breath, but enjoying the length of how nice it's been epic. And I guess you have to be from here to know how big of a deal it is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're finished your audit already?
Yeah, I just came for a meeting.
Oh, just for the
Yep,
meeting.
this
I was gonna say, if you're done by this time of the day, you're
No,
doing
no, no.
really well.
It actually was like 8 meetings in the hours during the season.
Okay.
It's like January, March. Just like for the
I'll tell you, it's kind of like I started making videos about 4 years ago,
okay.
and the fun part about this, it's my way of inspiring those experiences with others, and I don't know, it's just brought a lot of I like quality conversations, and one of the things that I'm focused in on in this point of my life is just on what integrity looks like, especially for young men. And so a huge part of my platform has been devoted to trying to make that an accessible conversation. And so I enjoy doing that, but also just in general, I like great quality connections. Yeah, that's what drives my intention. Is there a meaning behind your name, by the way?
Sorry?
Is there any meaning behind your name? It's the
Yeah,
first
it means
I've...
pride.
Pride?
Yep.
Okay. In which language?
Yep. It's pride. But man is like a Hindi or Punjabi word, I would
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah. Cool. Mine translates in English to Benjamin.
say. Oh, actually.
Yeah, Benjamin, yeah. Is it a more common name where you're from?
No, like, no.
No.
I have heard like Benjamin here.
Oh,
Canada.
sorry, I mean mine.
Yeah, man is common.
Yeah, man, okay.
Common.
Yeah, it's my first, so.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was asking that. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
How long you have been driving the
Uber?
Yep.
I started 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Started 5 years ago. I did it for a couple of years, then I took a break in the midst of the pandemic, and I'm only recently starting again. Yeah. It's one of those jobs I've come to discover. I knew I'd enjoy it, but I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did. So when I started doing it, I was teaching,
Okay.
which I really enjoy as well.
What
But-
do you teach?
English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, one second. I
Yeah.
need to take this call.
absolutely. Please do.
Hello. मैं यहाँ से तो निकल गए थे यार। तो मुझे वहाँ जाना है 10 मिनट के लिए यहाँ से। आप करो क्यों किया होगा? नहीं। आपका क्या प्लान है सुबह का? मतलब अभी का दोपहर और उसकी वाली का जिसके लिए कल शाम को परेशान थे आप कब तक आएगा स्टीम टाइम
Speed and red light camera in 500 meters. Speed limit is 70 kilometers per hour. Speed and red light camera in 300 meters. Speed limit is 70 kilometers per hour.
I don't think that call.
That's okay.
Roads are pretty bad.
You know, it's actually far nicer than it was earlier. So you see how it's slushy now? Slushy is almost, I find it safer because it's
Than
wet.
the ice.
Yeah, than the ice.
Exactly.
Ice is a lot more unpredictable.
Yep. I guess.
I've seen a few accidents since this morning,
Hmm.
which always, whenever I see those, man, I think, someone's having a really rough day. But no, this is, I'll take this far more.
Better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Actually, from last 2 years, winters are not that bad, to be honest. In California. Like a couple of days in December and in Jan, those
Yeah.
are like very bad.
Yeah.
But apart
You-
from it,
You're talking about the really deep freeze cold. Yeah.
exactly. Like minus 40, minus 45.
I've noticed those are like about 2 weeks at the maximum, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
right.
yeah.
I know, like there were a time when there was a whole month of those kind of
Yeah,
harsh
yeah.
winters.
If you had to choose between, say, 6 months of mild temperatures or like 3 months of extreme temperatures, which one would you choose?
I would say 6 months of mine.
Yeah, okay.
Like I like winters, but
Yeah.
I think minus 40, minus 45 is too much, to be honest.
Yeah. I've often thought the only gripe I have here in Calgary about Calgary is just the length of the winter. It just seems so greedy in the space it takes up in the calendar. When you moved here, did you move here by yourself or with your family?
No, by myself.
By
Like, my
yourself?
family's like my sister is already here. She's in Halifax.
Oh, okay.
She moved like in Canada in 2015, I would say.
Oh, goodness, okay.
So,
And she's still on the East Coast there.
yeah, she was in Prince Edward for a couple of years and moved to Halifax. She likes being there, so
Okay,
yeah, no complaint.
okay.
Everyone has their preferences. Right?
True. And then do you get to go home often or not so much?
Like I went like 3 years ago.
Okay,
It's not bad, I would say.
yeah.
Yep.
When you went back, did your family say you're different or not so much?
No, not much.
Not so much,
Family,
okay.
I think, like kids are always kids, right?
Sure enough, yeah.
So,
I enjoy watching how we change over time sometimes, right?
oh yeah.
And sometimes cultural dynamics play a significant
Yep.
factor, especially if you're in a new culture, right?
Your family's here, or
Yeah, so when I moved here, like I said, I was 8. I had 2 brothers at the time. Then my mom and dad had 3 more kids. So 3 were born here. We buried my mom sadly, when was it? 4 years ago now. I grew up in BC, so that's where we buried her.
so how come you moved to Calgary?
I came here to finish my studies.
Oh, and then you end up staying here?
I liked it. Actually, after I finished my studies, I went to Saskatchewan for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
But then I enjoyed it. But I like the city.
Yeah, it has a perfect vibe of a big city and small city, I would say.
Yeah, and I don't have much experience that way, like because this is my only first city. I lived in smaller settings before I moved here, but I knew I just liked being in the city. And this setting here is beautiful, like with the proximity to the mountains.
Yep.
Just a beautiful
That's the
landscape here.
beauty of this.
Yeah. Has your sister ever come to visit you here?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. I went to Prince Edward.
You did.
Yeah, so yeah, I spent like a month there, and it's a beautiful province. Very beautiful, I would say.
It's almost like if she did come here, you'd have to warn her that she might like it too much to stay.
Yeah. No, but she's planning to come like next year in summer because
Oh,
she
okay.
can come in here and for the stampede and see, that would be really fun.
Oh, then you'll get to show her all around
Yep,
then, right?
exactly.
That's amazing. Mom, nice to meet
Thank
you.
you. Same here.
Enjoy your
Have a
day.
good day.
Thank you. There was my first ride. Yay! That was so exciting. So exciting. Okay. One of the things I like doing is I have a question that I feature in my little notepad here. I've got tons of questions, again, on the theme of integrity that I appreciate reflecting on and exploring with my riders. Yeah, I like to have one of those ready if we have time. Sometimes we may not have time. I like, again, checking the vibe and making sure that it's something that isn't a forced sort of conversation, that it's happening organically if we do get a chance. But we don't always get a chance. For example, if it's a really short ride, I kind of gauge what kind of time frame I will have to do those explorations with my riders. And if we don't have time, we don't have time. We'll just kind of enjoy whatever evolves. There are some rides, for example, when just reading the social cues, they may be giving me indications that they may not want to have a conversation. And when that happens, my MO is I'm more than happy to make that space where they can just enjoy the quiet ride. So sometimes you may tune in, or you may be watching, and you may be seeing that there's not much happening in a conversation. It's most probably because I'm also like reading the cues and saying, yeah, they're giving me indications that they just want to have a quiet ride, and I'm more than happy to oblige that. So I don't take that personally at all. It's more like, hey, yeah, let's just have a quiet ride then. In which case, it may not be as fun watching me driving, but because this is that space that I want to prioritize my rider, I also want to make sure that they're getting what they're paying for. And so that happens. I would probably say that probably happens about 25%, 30% of the time when I get those indications. But for the most part, most people are open to conversation and engaging and connecting, which I am grateful for. That's my wiper, by the way, in case you're wondering what's that sound. But while I do this, I'm just going through my mind. You know, there's certain things that you can do without thinking about them because it's just almost natural, right? But when you're at the beginning, you almost have to take your time and intentionally go through a checklist to make sure that all the things are being attended to as you're going along with them. So I find myself in that same space right now while I do this for the first time, just kind of going through that checklist. Without doing a live stream, I kind of already have a system of how I sort of Uber, do my service, and I like that. But but when I'm starting something new like this, there's a whole bunch of things that I'm like, okay, I can't forget to do this. Press record, for example. At home, when I'm doing my podcast from my studio desk there, I've got a little post-it pad whereby I have a small list, just a handful of things, so that I don't forget a critical step. Because sometimes I'll forget maybe to press record, and I'll go through a whole episode that I'm trying to record and realize I didn't record it, for example, right? Or I may forget to turn on the audio, right? And it's like, and then, so all this to say, I'm just at the outset trying to remember, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and it's just a sequence that I'm gonna be working my way into, and it'll take a bit of time to get better at doing this, but I appreciate your patience while I go through this. At the outset, I have one or two of you coming on and off here, which is great. I appreciate you guys doing so. I know credibility or competence usually is tied to how many people are tuning into a live stream, and when I'm at the start like this, when there is hardly anyone, that may be discouraging for many, but I don't think it's discouraging for me because, again, I feel like one of my skill sets is patience. So with that patience comes this willingness to just wait my time, basically, to wait my time and say, okay, it's going to happen in time. I'm fairly confident that in time and consistency as I do this, there will be probably hundreds, thousands, like lots and lots of people who are tuning in based on what I'm curating in this space and what I'm trying to accomplish. This is just being on the other side of uncertainty and not knowing how things are going to transpire, but I really appreciate that evolution that happens when we embark this way and say, okay, how can we establish something really worthwhile and, I don't know, really encouraging, inspiring, right? So yeah, this is pretty awesome. Uber, the platform here, only allows us to drive 12 hours maximum per day. Actually, I should say 12 hours at a time, and then you have to go offline for 6 hours. And this is just to make sure that you're not overextending yourself, especially when you're driving people and you're being safe and getting the rest that you need. So, as I said, I started earlier this morning around 3 o'clock this morning. And currently it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I just checked on here, I have about 3 more hours left in my shift. So, if no one else has any issues with me live streaming, I mean, no one else by way of my riders, then I will endeavor to keep going for another 3 hours here. But if someone says they don't feel comfortable with being on live stream or their voice, because you can't really see anyone in the backseat, I just have the camera pointing at me specifically so that I can protect their identity so that they're not obligated to be on camera. So that's the rationale there. But I also do want to cover the base of their voices as well, because I don't want to post their voices if they're uncomfortable with that. So should that scenario transpire where they're like, I don't want to be online, I'll say, I'm happy to oblige, and I will go offline here, but I'll come back on after the ride's over. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And again, to let you figure out where I'm at, like if I'm offline and you come and check my videos, you can see which day it was by the date. So it'll say Uber Vintagers 11/18/01, which is like the first segment here that I'm recording. But if I have to go offline and come back on again, it'll be like Uber Vintagers 11/18/02. And you'll know this is the second installment here because I had to go offline, basically. So that's how I'm trying to figure that part out so that you guys can understand what's happening there. But no, welcome to my Uber. I hope in the course of you tuning in, whether you're watching the recording or whether you're watching the live stream, I think my main goal is to be able to share my experience in this job as an Uber driver that makes it so good. I'm doing this full time now. I stopped working at my previous job, which is an amazing work setting. I loved that job immensely, but this is where I want to make my mark in the world. I want to make my mark in the world by enabling more young men to have access to the experience and the familiarity of the concept of what integrity looks like. And that's, I think, what really drives why I wanted to come back and do this full time, is I wanted to be able to have those conversations, share them with you all online, and in so doing, inspire like 100,000 young men to start living with integrity. And in essence, really changing the world, in a powerful way. This is really important for me because for most of my teen years, most of my 20s, and even my 30s, I was fumbling in significant ways. Fumbling in the area of trying to live with integrity, making a lot of bad decisions, really digging myself into a hole. And it wasn't because I didn't care about it. I really cared about trying to live well and authentically and truthfully. I just did not know how. And it was a scary zone. And when you haven't done something and it's unfamiliar, it's no wonder that, we just don't make any headway, right? So, all that to say, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, is making this far more accessible by being a catalyst in bringing this conversation. I do this in the setting of my Uber because this is how I can earn money, have lots of conversations with people who are willing, that was loud, who are willing to have those conversations with me. But even as we do that, then also it also doubles up with me. It also doubles up with me sharing with you why this setting in here in my Uber is as much fun as it is, but to do so in real time. In real time, when you can actually see me interacting with my riders, the vibe that I'm able to connect with, the stories that they feel comfortable sharing, the experiences that we exchange, the insights. We philosophize sometimes we just kind of, I don't know, we consider our histories even, and when I get to share that space with my riders, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for me because doesn't feel good when we don't connect in ways whereby we feel like we've been seen, you know? And where I'm at now in life, I feel seen, I feel loved, cared for, acknowledged in some wonderful ways. Now I had to work at some specific social skills to get to this point, and I had to do some internal self-work to get to this point as well. But I think from my observation of culture at large, there are many who still feel lonely, isolated, and misunderstood. And yeah, that's a tough place to be. So what I do here is facilitate a lot of impacting connections that I hope to share, and in so sharing, inspire and hopefully encourage you to go out there and make your own memories as well. I would like to model what that looks like. Yeah, that's why I do what I do. It's so exciting. My friends, my close friends know how exciting this has been for me to get back to, and they've kept on asking me, so how is it? How's it going, you know, with your new work, driving Uber again full time? And just, I don't know, the smile that I have on my face, I'm like, I'm in the right place. This is amazing. It makes me super grateful. Super grateful. I'm just gonna stop by at a store to do a quick return because I bought these whiteboards. I have them like just on my passenger seat here. I bought these whiteboards that I was gonna hang off of the back of the front chairs here, just with a notice saying, hey, live streaming going on. I just want to make sure that you're okay with that, and if you're not, I'll turn it off. Otherwise, if you don't want your voice on there, you know, we don't have to talk or whatever. So I was thinking of doing that, but I don't have strength for it, and I don't think it'll work out well because space in my vehicle, it's at a premium. It can be cozy when I have all 7 seats full. I drive a Dodge Journey, and it's practical, it's wonderful, I'm really grateful, but it has its limitations. So, yeah, I'm just gonna quickly go offline here. This is one of the cool things about driving with Uber, is at any time you can just go offline and do whatever. It's so flexible. I am so grateful for it. So I think what I might do is I'll just go offline here. I'll turn off the live stream for a few minutes while I quickly dig into the store and do the quick return, and then I'll come back in again, and away we go again for our final 3 hours of work. So that's what I endeavor to do. So stay tuned. I will be back in just a few moments. Again, thanks for watching the video. If you're watching the replay, I don't think I have anyone online right now. And again, it's so cool that I'm okay if there's no one online. Totally cool. Why? Because I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing because I find tremendous value in it. And at some point it may serve some, but even if it doesn't, the intention for why I put myself out there will for me have been achieved. And so, yeah, I'll see you soon. Just got to figure out now how to end it. Oh, turn here. And this I'm going to do like this.